Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we're bringing you a special live rant from the desk of Hayden Rogers. Over to you, Hayden. Thanks, Hayden. This just in. Common sense shows that many people in the first world suck. Something that just makes me want to rip some faces off is the way this culture we have in the first world nowadays, where we sue people all the time for every friggin' thing. Like, we're actually acting like spoiled children. We possess most of the world's resources, and then we have to like bicker over these. Oh my goodness. Like, you can literally sue people for calling you names. Hey Steve, I think that you smell. I will sue the pants off of you. In fact, I once heard a story. I'm going to be quoting a lot of stories in this, which may or may not be true. These are things I've heard. I once heard a story that someone went to a restaurant, ate their food, didn't like the food. They came home, got onto Twitter, as most of us, some of us, do, decided they'd post a little tweet about, oh, didn't like this food, harsh words were maybe used, and the restaurant sued them for defamation. Like, in cases like that, it's sort of like, oh, well, they are a business, and they do depend on people coming to them to get their food. But at the same time, it feels like almost like censorship in a way, like that I can't express my opinion about the food that I ate at this restaurant, which was pretty bad apparently. I could get sued for just saying that I didn't like something. The reason that I'm so angry about this right now is that I heard a news report tonight on the news. Obviously on the news, there is a family who is suing a 13-year-old girl, or her family, I don't know how that works, a tennis club and a school, because during tennis practice, the girl accidentally hit a tennis ball into the other girl's eye, and she got bruising on her eye. Oh, and the father is a cardiologist, so they're rich. Hi, honey, how was school? Oh, it was good, but I got hit in the eye with a tennis ball. Oh, what? Honey, get my suing pants, we're suing some people. Just let's look at that situation and think to ourselves, how is our justice system allowed to operate in such a capitalist way? We are literally allowing the rich people who can afford lawyers who then go and sue people because they can afford it because they're rich, get more money from suing things, and then they can just keep suing. In fact, here is a story you may have heard of a robber in the US. I'm sorry to say, a lot of the suing happens in the US. So this robber breaks in to a bar, I think it was, or maybe a house, and got electrocuted by a homemade booby trap. Because of that, he sued the people who he was breaking into the place of and won like $75,000 or something. And I was just reading before that apparently people do this to earn more money so they can go out and do it more. Like, I mean, here are some more ridiculous lawsuits. There was a guy on death row who sued the author of a book about murders he had committed. Sued this author for $60 million in damages because he claimed it would be harder for him to get a job now. Apparently the case was eventually thrown out, thank God. A man was riding home from work on his bike one night and was hit by a Jeep, and he sued the bike manufacturer because they didn't warn him that only having reflectors might not be enough to prevent an accident, and he actually won $6 million. Apparently there was a woman in a restaurant who was arguing with her boyfriend, things were getting a bit heated, and she threw a drink in his face, as you do when you're arguing with people on a soap opera, and she slipped over on this spilled beverage, sued the restaurant, and won. Apparently $113,500. Here is an interesting one. A woman, a phone sex operator in Florida, won a settlement after filing for workers' compensation because she had I'm just going to read it. Saying she had suffered repetitive motion injuries in both hands. The repetitive motion was a result of using her hands to give herself as many as 7 orgasms a day while talking to clients. I'm sorry, but she just got double paid for her job. Like, how does this happen? There's the classic guy got killed by a vending machine because he was trying to get free stuff out of it, and the family sues the vending machine company. Obviously these are fairly extreme. I don't even know anymore. Are these extreme? I feel like these are fairly toned down suings. This is not okay. This is not okay. This is not okay. Does anyone else ever get the intense desire to just gather the peoples of the first world, let's be honest, and just have this giant megaphone and just scream things at people because they're so stupid that they don't understand this? Just... This is not okay!